stops on a sodden, looks upon the ground. Then lays his finger on his temple, straight. Springs out into fast gait, then stops again. Strikes his breast hard, and anon he casts his eye against the moon, in most strange postures. We ha seen him set himself. King, it may well be. There is a mutiny in's mind, this morning. Papers of state he sent me to peruse. As I required, and wot you what I found? There, on my conscience put vn wittingly. Forsooth an annuntary, thus importing the all parcels of his plate, his treasure. Rich stuffs and ornaments of household, which I find at such proud rate that it outspeaks possession of a subject, nor its hoen's will. Some spirit put this paper in the packet, to bless your eye withal. King, if we did think his contemplation were about the earth, and fixed on spiritual object he should still dwell in his musings, but I am afraid his thinkings are below the moon, not worth his serious considering. King takes his seat, whispers Lowell, who goes to the cardinal. Car, hoen forge you me. Your God bless your highness. King, good my lord. You are full of hoenly stuff, and bear the annuntary of your best graces in your mind, the which you were now running you ha scarce time to steal from spiritual leisure a brief span, to keep your earthly audit sure in that. I deem you an ill husband, and am glad to ha you therein my companion. Car, sir, for holy offices I ha a time, to think upon the part of business which I bear I state, and nature does require. Her times of preservation, which perforce I her frail son, amongst ye my brethren mortal, must you my tendance to. King, you ha said well. Car, and you may your highness yoke together, as I will lend you cause, my doing well. With my well saying. King, 'tis well said agent. And 'tis a kind of good deed to say well. And yet words are no deeds, my father lewd you. He said he did, and with his deed did crown his word upon you, since I had my office. I ha kept you next my heart, ha not alone. Employed you where high profits might come home. But pard my present hoings to bestow my bounties upon you. Car, what should this mean? Sir, the Lord increase this business. King, ha I not made you the prime man of the state? I pray you tell me if what I now pronounce you ha found true. And if you may confess it, say withal. If you are bound to v's or no, what say you? Car, my sour rainy, I confess your royal graces. Showered on me daily, ha any more than could my studied purposes requite, which went beyond all man's endowers, my endowers. Ha you are come too short of my desires, yet filled with my abilities, mine own ends. Ha been mine so, that you are more they pointed. Toth good of your most sacred person, and the profit of the state, for your great graces. Heaped upon me, poor vien deserver, I can nothing render but allegiant thanks. My prayers to hoen for you, my loyalty, which you are has, and you are shall be growing, till death that winter kill it. King fairly answered. A loyal and obedient subject is therein illustrated the honor of it. Does pay the act of it, as ith contrary. The foulness is the punishment, I presume, that as my hand has opened bounty to you. My heart dropped low, my power reigned honor more. On you than any, so your hand and heart. Your brain and youery function of your power. Should, notwithstanding that your bond of duty, as 'twere in Lao's particular, be more to me your friend than any. Car, I do profess That for your highness good, I you are labored. More than mine own, that am's ha and will be. Though all the world should cracky their duty to you, and throw it from their soul, though perils did abound as thick as thought could make 'em, and appear in forms more horrid, yet my duty, as doth a rock against the chiding flood, should the approach of this wild arrear break, and stand unshaken yours. King, 'tis nobly spoken. Take notice, lords, he has a loyal breast. For you ha seen him opened, read this. And after this, and then to breakfast with. What appetite you ha? Exit king, frowning vipon the cardinal, the nobles throng after him smiling and whispering. Car, what should this mean? What sodden anger's this, how ha I reaped it? He parted frowning from me, as if ruine leaped from his eyes, so looks the chafed lion. Vipon, the daring huntsman that has galled him. Then makes him nothing, I must read this paper. I fear the story of his anger, 'tis so. This paper has viendone me, 'tis th accompt. Of all that world of wealth I ha drawn together. For mine own ends, indeed to gain the popedom. And fee my friends in Rome, O negligence. Fit for a fool to fall by, what cross deal? Made me put this main secret in the packet. I sent the king, is there no way to cure this? No new duist to beat this from his brains. I know 'twill stir him strongly, yet I know. Away, if it take right, in spite of fortune. Will bring me off Agon, what's this, to th Pope? The letter, as I lee you with all the business. I writ to's holiness, nay then farewell. I ha touched the highest point of all my greatness. And from that full meridian of my glory, I haste now to my setting, I shall fall. Like a bright exhalation in the evening. And no man see me more. Enter to Wolsey, the Dukes of Norfolk and Suffolk, the Earl of Surrey, and the Lord Chamberlain. Nor hear the king's pleasure cardinal, who commands you to render VP the Great Seal presently into our hands and to confine yourself to Asher House, my Lord of Winchester's, till you hear further from his highness. Car stay. Where's your commission? Lord's words cannot carry authorities so weighty. Suft who dare cross 'em, bearing the king's will from his mouth expressly. Car, till I find more than will or words to do it. I mean your malice, no, officious lords. I dare and must deny it, now I feel. Of what coarse metal ye are molded, in I. How eagerly ye follow my disgraces. As if it fed ye, and how sleek and wanton. Ye appear in every thing may bring my ruin. Follow your inurious courses, men of malice. You ha Christian warrant for 'em, and no doubt. In time will find their fit rewards, that seal. You ask with such a violence, the king. Mine, and your master with his own hand, gaw me. Bade me annoy it with the place and honors. During my life, and to confirm his goodness. Tid it by letters patents, now who'll take it? Sir, the king that gaw it. Car, it must be himself then. Sir, thou art a proud traitor, priest. Car, proud lord thou liest. Within these 40 hours, Surrey durst better. Ha burnt that tongue, then said so. Sir, thy ambition. Thou scarlet sin, robbed this bewailing land. Of noble Buckingham, my father-in-law. The heads of all thy brother cardinals. With thee, and all thy best parts bound together. Weighed not a hair of his, plague of your policy. You sent me deputy for Ireland. Far from his succor, from the king, from all. That might ha mercy on the fault thou gost him. Whilst your great goodness, out of holy pity, absolute him with an axe. While this and all else, this talking lord can lay vipon my credit. I answer is most false, the Duke by law found his deserts, how innocent I was from any preluate malice in his end. His noble Euri and foul cause can witness. If I lewd many words, Lord, I should tell you. You ha as little honesty as honor. That in the way of loyalty and truth. Toward the king, my you are royal master. Dare mate a sounder man than Sarai can be. And all that low his follies. Sir, by my soul. Your long coat priest protects you. Thou shouldst feel. My sword i'th life blood of the else, my lords. Can ye endure to hear this arrogance? And from this fellow, if we lee you thus tamely. To be thus aided by a piece of scarlet. Farewell nobility, let his grace go forward. And dare vise with his cap like larks. Card all goodness. Is poison to thy stomachy. Sir, yes, that goodness. Of gleaning all the land's wealth into one. Into your own hands, cardinal by extortion. The goodness of your intercepted packets. You writ toth pope against the king, your goodness. Since you provoke me, shall be most notorious. My lord of Norfolk, as you are truly noble. As you respect the common good, the state. Of our despised nobility, our issues. Whom if he lee you, will scarce be gentlemen. Produce the grand sum of his sins, the articles. Collected from his life, I'll startle you. Worse than the sacring bell, when the brown wench lay kissing in your arms, Lord Cardinal. Car, how much methinks I could despise this man. But that I am bound in charity against it. Nor, those articles, my lord, are in the king's hand. But thus much they are foul ones. While so much fairer and spotless shall mine innocence arise. When the king knows my truth. Sir, this cannot saw you. I thank my memory, I yet remember. Some of these articles, and out they shall. Now, if you can blush and cry guilty cardinal, you'll show a little honesty. Wall, speak on, sir. I dare your worst objections, if I blush. It is to see a nobleman want manners. Sir, I had rather want those than my head. Haud at you. First, that without the king's assent or knowledge. You wrought to be a legate by which power you maimed the jurisdiction of all bishops. Nor, then, that in all you writ to Rome or else. To foreigny princes, ego and rex muse. Was still inscribed, in which you brought the king. To be your servant. Suff, then, that without the knowledge. Either of king or council, when you went. Ambassador to the emperor, you made bold. To carry into Flanders the great seal. Sir, item, you sent a large commission. To Gregory de Casado to conclude. Without the king's will or the state's allowance. A league between his highness and Ferrara. Suff, that out of mere ambition you hawkoust. Your holy hat to be stamped on the king's coin. Sir, then that you ha sent innumerable substance. By what means got, I low to your own conscience. To furnish Rome, and to prepare the ways. You ha for dignities, to the mere Vienne doing. Of all the kingdom, many more there are. Which since they are of you, and odious. I will not taint my mouth with. Cam, O my lord. Press not a falling man too far, 'tis virtue. His faults lie open to the laws, let them. Not you correct him, my heart weeps to see him. So little of his great self. Sir, I forge you him. Suff, Lord Cardinal, the king's further pleasure is. Because all those things you ha done of late. By your power legatine within this kingdom. Fall into compass of a premunere. That therefore such a writ be sued against you. To forfeit all your goods, lands, tenements, castles, and whatsoever, and to be out of the king's protection, this is my charge. Nor, and so we'll low you to your meditations. How to lee you better, for your stubborn answer. About the geoing baccy the great seal to v's. The king shall know it, and no doubt shall thank you. So fare you well, my little good Lord Cardinal. Exeunt all but Wolsey. Wall, so farewell to the little good you bear me. Farewell, a long farewell to all my greatness. This is the state of man, today he puts forth. The tender lows of hopes tomorrow blossoms, and bears his blushing honors thick upon him. The third day comes a frost, a killing frost, and when he thinks good easy man full surely, his greatness is a ripening, nips his root. And then he fouls as I do, I ha ventured. Like little wanton boys that swim on bladders. This many summers in a sea of glory. But far beyond my depths, my high-blown pride. At length broke Vienne dur me, and now has left me. Weary and old with sorrowest to the mercy of a rude stream that must for you or hide me. Vain pomp and glory of this world I hate ye. I feel my heart new opened, oh how wretched is that poor man that hangs on princes' fours. There is betwixt that smile we would aspire to, that sweet aspect of princes and their ruin, more pangs and fears than wars or women ha. And when he falls like Lucifer. Newer to hope again. Enter Cromwell, standing amazed. Why how now Cromwell? Crom, I ha no power to speak, sir. Car, what amazed? At my misfortunes, can thy spirit wonder? A great man should decline, nay, and you weep. I am foully indeed. Crom, how does your grace? Card, why well. Newer so truly happy, my good Cromwell. I know myself now, and I feel within me a peace about all earthly dignities. A still and quiet conscience, the king has curd me. I humbly thank his grace, and from these shoulders, these pillars out of pity taken, a load would sink annoy, too much honor. Oh, 'tis a burden, Cromwell, 'tis a burden. Too hoey for a man that hopes for hoeing. Crom, I am glad your grace has made that right VSC of it. Card, I hope I ha. I am able now, methinks, out of a fortitude of soul I feel, to endure more miseries and greater far than my weak-hearted enemies dare offer. What news abroad? Crom, the hoiest and the worst, is your displeasure with the king. Card, God bless him. Crom, the next is that Sir Thomas More is chosen Lord Chancellor in your place. Card, that's somewhat sedane. But he's a learned man, may he continue long in his highness for, and do justice. For truth's sake and his conscience, that his bones, when he has run his course and sleeps in blessings, may ha a tom of orphant's tears wept on him. What more? Crom, that Cranmer is returned with welcome. Installed Lord Archbishop of Canterbury. Card, that's news indeed. Crom, last that the Lady Anne, whom the king hath in secrecy long married, this day was viewed and open as his queen, going to chapel, and the voice is now onely about her coronation. Card, there was the weight that pulled me down. O Cromwell, the king has gone beyond me, all my glories. In that one woman I ha lost for youer. No son shall youer visure forth mine honors, or gilda again the noble troops that waited. Vipon my smiles, go get thee from me, Cromwell. I am a poor foulny man, unworthy now. To be thy lord and master, seek the king. That son, I pray may newer set, I ha told him. What and how true thou art, he will adduance thee. Some little memory of me will stir a him. I know his noble nature, not to let thy hopeful sorrowous perish too, good Cromwell. Neglect him not, make VSC now and provide. For thine own future safety. Crom, O my lord. Must I then low you, must I needs forgo? So good, so noble, and so true a master. Bear witness, all that ha not hearts of iron. With what a sorrow Cromwell lows his lord. The king shall ha my service, but my prayers. For you and for you shall be yours. Cromwell, I did not think to shed a tear. In all my miseries, but thou hast forked me. Out of thy honest truth to play the woman. Let's dry our eyes, and thus far hear me Cromwell. And when I am forgotten, as I shall be. And sleep in dull cold marble, where no mention. Of me more must be heard of, say I taught thee. Say Wolsey, that once trod the ways of glory. And sounded all the depths and shoals of honor. Found thee a way out of his rackie to rise in. A sure and safe one, though thy master missed it. Mark but my fall, and that ruined me. Cromwell, I charge thee, fling away ambition. By that sin fell the angels, how can man then? The image of his maker, hope to win by it. Allow thyself last, cherish those hearts that hate thee. Corruption wins not more than honesty. Still in thy right hand, carry gentle peace. To silence envious tongues, be east and fear not. Let all the ends thou aim'st at be thy country's. Thy gods and truths, then if thou fall'st, O Cromwell. Thou fall'st, a blessed martyr. Sorrow the king, and prithee lead me in. There take an inventory of all I ha. To the last penny, tease the king's, my robe. And my integrity to hoen is all. I dare now call mine own, O Cromwell, Cromwell. Had I but served my God with half the zeal. I served my king, he would not in mine age. Ha left me naked to mine enemies. Crom, good sir, ha patience. Card so I ha farewell. The hopes of court, my hopes in hoen do dwell. Exeunt. Actus quartus, scena prima. Enter two gentlemen, meeting one another. 1 year well met once again. 2 so are you. 1 you come to take your stand here, and behold. The Lady Anne pass from her coronation. 2 tease all my business, at our last encounter. The Duke of Buckingham came from his tria tease very true, but that time offered sorrow. This general I. 2 tease well, the citizens. I am sure ha shewn at full their royal minds. As let 'em ha their rights, they are ewer forward. In celebration of this day with shows, pageants and sights of honor. One newer greater. Nor I'll assure you better taken, sir. 2 may I be bold to ask what that contains. That paper in your hand, yes, tease the list. Of those that claim their offices this day. By custom of the coronation. The Duke of Suffolk is the first, and claims to be High Steward, next the Duke of Norfolk. He to be Earl Marshal, you may read the rest. 1 I thank you, sir, had I not known those customs. I should ha been beholding to your paper. But I beseech you, what's become of Catherine? The Princess Dowager, how goes her business? One that I can tell you too, the Archbishop of Canterbury, accompanied with other learned and reverend fathers of his order, held a late court at Dunstable, 6 miles off from Ampthill, where the princess lay, to which she was often cited by them, but appeared not. And to be short, for not appearance, and the king's late scruple, by the main assent of all these learned men, she was deworked, and the late marriage made of none effect. Since which she was removed to Kimmalton, where she remains now sick. 2 alas, good lady, the trumpets sound, stand close, the queen is coming. Ho boys, the order of the coronation, one a leally flourish of trumpets 2. Then 2 eages, 3 Lord Chancellor with purse and mace before. Age. Choristers singing, music, 5 Mayor of London bearing the mace then. Garter in his coat of arms, and on his head he wore a gilt copper crown, 6 Marquess Dorset, bearing a sceptre of gold on his head, a demi-coronal of gold, with him the Earl of Surrey bearing the rod of silver with the dow, crowned with an earl's coronet, collars of Essex 7. Duke of Suffolk in his robe of estate, his coronet on his head, bearing a long white wand as high steward, with him the Duke of Norfolk with the rod of marshalship, a coronet on his head, collars of Essex 8. Canopy borne by 4 of the Cinque Ports, Viender at the Queen. Her robe in her hair, richly adorned with pearl crowned, on each side her. The bishops of London and Winchester, 9 the oldie Duchess of Norfolk, in a coronal of gold, wrought with flowers bearing the Queen's train 10. Certain ladies or countesses, with plain circlets of gold, without flowers, exeunt, first passing are the stage in order and state. And then a great flourish of trumpets. 2 a royal train believe me, these I know. Who's that bears the sceptre? 1 Marquess Dorset. And that the Earl of Surrey, with the row a bold broad gentleman, that should be the Duke of Suffolk. 1 'tis the same, high steward, and that my Lord of Norfolk. 1 yes. 2 Hohen bless thee. Thou hast the sweetest face I ewer looked on. Sir, as I ha a soul, she is an angel. Our king has all the Indies in his arms, and more and richer when he strains that lady. I cannot blame his conscience. 1 they that bear the cloth of honor our her, are 4 barons of the Cinque Ports. 2 those men are happy, and so are near her. I take it, she that carries VP the train is that old noble lady, Duchess of Norfolk. 1 it is, and all the rest are countesses. 2 their coronets say so, these are stars indeed, and sometimes falling ones. 2 no more of that. Enter a 3rd gentleman. 1 God saw you, sir, where ha you been broiling? 3 among the crowd I'th Abbey, where a finger could not be wedged in more, I am stifled with the mere rankness of their eye. 2 you saw the ceremony. 3 that I how was it? 3 well worth the seeing. 2 good sir, speak it to verses. 3 as well as I am able, the rich stream of lords and ladies hoing brought the Queen to a prepared place in the choir, fell off a distance from her, while her grace sate down to rest a while, some half an hour or so, in a rich chair of state, opposing freely the beauty of her person to the people. Believe me, sir, she is the goodliest woman that ewer lay by man, which when the people had the full view of, such a noise arose, as the shrouds make at sea in a stiff tempest, as load and to as many tunes, hats, cloaks, doublets I think, flew VP and had their faces been loose this day they had been lost, such I knew or saw before, great bellied women that had not half a week to go, like rams in the old time of war, would shake the priests and make 'em reel before 'em, no man liying could say this is my wife there, all were wowen so strangely in one piece. 2 but what followed? 3 at length her grace rose, and with modest paces came to the altar, where she kneeled and saint-like cast her fair eyes to Hohen and prayed deotly. Then rose again and bowed her to the people. When by the Archbishop of Canterbury she had all the royal makings of a queen, as holy oil, Edward Confessor's crown, the rod and bird of peace, and all such emblems, laid nobly on her, which performed the choir. With all the choicest music of the kingdom. Together sung Te Deum, so she parted. And with the same full state packed backy again. To York Place, where the feast is he, sir. You must no more call it York Place, that's past. For since the Cardinal fell, that title's lost. 'Tis now the King's and called Whiteha, I know it, but 'tis so lately altered that the old name is fresh about me. What two Ruhr and bishops were those that went on each side of the Queen? 3 Stokely and Gardiner, the one of Winchester, newly preferred from the King's secretary, the other London. 2 He of Winchester is held no great good lower of the archbishops, the virtuous Cranmer. 3 All the land knows that. How ewer, yet there is no great breach. When it comes, Cranmer will find a friend will not shrink from H. Who may that be, I pray you. 3 Thomas Cromwell. A man in much esteem with Th. King, and truly. A worthy friend, the King has made him. Master oath Ewell House. And one already of the counts he will deserve more. 3 Yes, without all doubt. Come, gentlemen, ye shall go my way. Which is Toth Court, and there ye shall be my guests. Something I can command, as I walk thither. I'll tell ye more. Both you may command verses, sir. Exeunt. Scena secunda. Enter Catherine Dowager, sick, lead between Griffith her. Gentlemen. Be sure and patience her woman. Griff, how do's your grace? Cath, O Griffith, sick to death. My leg is like loaden branches bow toth earth. Willing to low their burthen, reach a chair. So now, methinks, I feel a little ease. Chapter 999. Sint thou not tell me, Griffith, as thou leadst me, that the great child of honor, Cardinal Wolsey, was dead? Griff, yes, madam, but I think your grace. Out of the pain you suffered, gaw no ear toot. Cath's, prithee good Griffith, tell me how he died. If well, he stepped before me happily. For my example. Griff, well the voice goes, madam. For after the stout Earl Northumberland arrested him at York and brought him forward, as a man sorely tainted to his answer. He fell sick suddenly and grew so ill, he could not sit his mule. Cath, alas poor man. Griff, at last with easy roads he came to Leicester. Lodged in the abbey, where the ruined abbot, with all his cowant, honorably received him. To whom he gaw these words, O Father Abbot, an old man, broken with the storms of state, is come to lay his weary bones among ye. Giu him a little earth for charity. So went to bed, where eagerly his sickness pursued him still, and 3 nights after this, about the hour of 8, which he himself foretold should be his last, full of repentance, continue all meditations, tears and sorrows. He gaw his honors to the world agin, his blessed part to Hohen, and slept in peace. Cath, so may he rest. His faults lie gently on him. Yet thus far Griffith, Giumilo to speak him. And yet with charity, he was a man. Of an VN bounded stomachy, you were ranking. Himself with princes, one that by suggestion tied all the kingdom, simony was fair play. His own opinion was his law, i'th presence. He would say VN truths and be ewer double. Both in his words and meaning, he was newer. But where he meant to ruin, pitiful. His promises were as he then was mighty. But his performance, as he is now, nothing. Of his own body he was ill, and gaw. The clergy ill example. Griff, noble madam. Men's Ewell manners, liu and brass, their virtues. We write in water, may it please your highness. To hear me speak is good now. Cath, yes, good Griffiths. I were malicious else. Griff, this cardinal, though from an humble stock, undoubtedly, was fashioned to much honor from his cradle. He was a scholar and a ripe and good one, exceeding wise, fair-spoken and persuading, lofty, and sower to them that lewd him not, but to those men that sought him, sweet as summer. And though he were vn satisfied in getting, which was a sin, yet in bestowing, madam, he was most princely, you are witness for him, those twins of learning that he raised in you, Ipswich and Oxford, one of which fell with him, vn willing to outlie you the good that did it. The other though vn finished, yet so famous, so excellent in art and still so rising, that Christendom shall ewer speak his virtue. His overthrow heaped happiness upon him. For then, and not till then, he felt himself, and found the blessedness of being little, and to add greater honors to his age. Then man could jew him, he died fearing God. Cath, after my death I wish no other herald, no other speaker of my lewing actions, to keep mine honor from corruption, but such an honest chronicler as Griffith, whom I most hated lewing, thou hast made me, with thy religious truth and modesty. Now in his ashes, honor, peace be with him. Patience, be near me still, and set me lower. I ha not long to trouble thee, good Griffiths. Cause the musicians play me that sad note. I named my knell, whilst I sit meditating. On that celestial harmony I go to. Sad and solemny music. Griff, she is asleep, good wench, let's sit down quiet. For fear we wake her, softly, gentle patience. The vision, enter solemnly tripping one after another, 6 personages, clad in white robes, wearing on their heads garlands of bays and golden vizards on their faces, branches of bays or pommy in their hands. They first conge vnto her, then dance. And at certain changes the first 2 hold a spare garland o'er her head, at which the other 4 make ruer and curtsies. Then the 2 that held the garland, deliver the same to the other next 2, who observe the same order in their changes, and holding the garland o'er her head. Which done, they deliver the same garland to the last 2, who likewise observe the same order. At which, as it were by inspiration, she makes in her sleep signs of reicing, and holdeth vp her hands to hoen. And so, in their dancing vanish, carrying the garland with them. The music continues. Cath, spirits of peace, where are ye? Are ye all gone? And lo me here in wretchedness, behind ye. Griff, madam, we are here. Cath, it is not you I call for. Saw ye none enter since I slept? Griff, none, madam. Cath, no, saw you not you now a blessed troop. Invite me to a banquet, whose bright faces cast 1,000 beams upon me like the sun. They promised me eternal happiness, and brought me garlands, Griffith, which I feel I am not worthy yet to wear, I shall assuredly. Griff, I am most eyeful, madam, such good dreams possess your fancy. Cath, bid the music low. They are harsh and hoey to me. Music ceases. Patty, do you note how much her grace is altered on the sodding? How long her face is drawn, how pale she looks. And of an earthy cold, mark her eyes. Griff, she is going wench, pray, pray. Patty's ho and comfort her. Enter a messenger. Me's aunt like your grace. Cath, you are a saucy fellow. Deseru, we no more ruerance. Griff, you are too blame. Knowing she will not lose her wonted greatness. To VSC so rude behoyer, go to kneel. Me's, I humbly do entreat your highness pardon. My hast made me vn mannerly, there is staying. A gentleman sent from the king to see you. Cath, admit him entrance Griffith, but this fellow. Let me near see Agin. Exit Messeng. Enter Lord Caputius. If my sight fail not, you should be Lord Ambassador from the Emperor. My royal nephew, and your name Caputius. Cap, madam, the same, your Saruant. Cath, O my lord. The times and titles now are altered strangely. with me since first you knew me. But I pray you, what is your pleasure with me? Cap's noble lady. First mine own Sarois to your grace, the next. The king's request that I would visit you, who grieves much for your weakness, and by me sends you his princely commendations, and heartily entreats you take good comfort. Cath, O my good lord, that comfort comes too late. 'Tis like a pardon after execution. That gentle physic genuine in time had cured me. But now I am past all comforts here but prayers. How does his highness? Cap, madam, in good health. Cath, so may he your do and your flourish. When I shall dwell with worms, and my poor name banish the kingdom, patience is that letter. I coused you right, yet sent away. Pat, no madam. Cath, sir, I most humbly pray you to deliver this to my lord the king. Cap, most willing madam. Cath, in which I ha commended to his goodness. The model of our chaste louse, his young daughter. The dews of Hoenn fall thick in blessings on her, beseeching him to giu her virtuous breeding. She is young, and of a noble modest nature. I hope she will deserve well, and a little. To allow her for her mother's sake, that lewd him. Hoenn knows how dearly. My next poor petition is, that his noble grace would ha some pity vipon my wretched women that so long ha followed both my fortunes faithfully, of which there is not one I dare awe. And now I should not lie, but will deserve for virtue and true beauty of the soul, for honesty and decent carriage. A right good husband, let him be a noble. Ensure those men are happy that shall ha him. The last is for my men, they are the poorest. But poverty could newer draw 'em from me, that they may ha their wages, duly paid 'em, and something hour to remember me by. If Hoenn had pleased to ha you and me longer life, and able means we had not parted thus. These are the whole contents, and good my lord, by that you low the dearest in this world, as you wish Christian peace to souls departed. Stand these poor people's friend, and vrg the king. To do me this last right, cap by Hoenn I wills, or let me loose the fashion of a man. Cath, I thank you honest lord, remember me. In all humility, vnto his highness. Say his long trouble now is passing. Out of this world, tell him in death I blessed him. For so I will mine eyes grow dim, farewell. My lord Griffith farewell, nay patience. You must not low me yet, I must to bed. Call in more women, when I am dead, good wench. Let me be vest with honor, strew me hour with maiden flowers, that all the world may know. I was a chaste wife to my gra, embalmy me. Then lay me forth, although vieng queened, yet like a queen and daughter to a king entera me. I can no more. Exeunt leading Catherine. Actus quintus, scena prima. Enter Gardiner Bishop of Winchester, a page with a torch before him, met by Sir Thomas Lowell. Guard, it's 1 o'clock, boy, is't not? Boy, it hath struck. Guard, these should be hours for necessities, not for delights, times to repair our nature. With comforting repose, and not for verses. To waste these times, good hour of night, Sir Thomas. Weather so late. Lou, came you from the king, my lord? Gar, I did, Sir Thomas, and left him at Prime Row. With the Duke of Suffolk. Lou, I must to him too. Before you go to bed, I'll take my low. Guard, not yet, Sir Thomas Lowell, what's the matter? It seems you are in hast, and if there be no great offense belongs to't, you your friend. Some touch of your late business, affairs that walk, as they say spirits do, at midnight hall. In them a wilder nature, than the business. that seeks dispatch by day.
Lou, my lord, I allow you.
And durst commend a secret to your ear.
Much weightier than this work, the queen's in labor.
They say in great extremity and feared.
She'll with the labor end.
Guard the fruit she goes with.
I pray for heartily that it may find
Good time and liu, but for the stock Sir Thomas.
I wish it grubbed VP now. Lou, methinks I could.
Cry the amen, and yet my conscience says.
She's a good creature, and sweet lady doos.
Deseru our better wishes.
Guard but sir.
Hear me Sir Thomas, ye're a gentleman.
Of mine own way, I know you wise religious. And let me tell you, it will ne'er be well.
'Twill not Sir Thomas Lowell, tact of me.
Till Cranmer, Cromwell, her 2 hands and she
sleep in their graws.
Lowell, now sir you speak of 2.
The most remarked i'th kingdom, as for Cromwell. Beside that of the Ewell House, is made master.
H. Rolls and the King's secretary, further sir,
stands in the gap and trade of moe preferments,
with which the lime will load him, th. Archbishop,
is the king's hand and tongue, and who dare speak
1 syllable against him.
Guard, yes, Sir Thomas.
There are that dare, and I myself ha ventured
to speak my mind of him, and indeed this day.
Sir, I may tell it you, I think I ha
incensed the Lord's oath counsel that he is.
For so I know he is, they know he is.
A most arch heretique, a pestilence.
That does infect the land, with which they mood.
Ha broken with the king who hath so far
giu an ear to our complaint of his great grace.
And princely care, foreseeing those fell mischiefs.
Our reasons laid before him hath commanded. Tomorrow morning to the council board.
He be conwented, he's a rank weed Sir Thomas.
And we must root him out from your affairs.
I hinder you too long, good night Sir Thomas.
Exit Gardiner and Page. Lou, many good nights, my lord, I rest your servant.
Enter King and Suffolk.
King, Charles, I will play no more tonight. My mind's not on't, you are too hard for me. Suff, sir, I did newer win of you before.
King, but little Charles.
Nor shall not win my fancies on my play. Now Lowell, from the Queen, what is the news? Lou, I could not personally deliver to her what you commanded me, but by her woman.
I sent your message, who returned her thanks.
In the greatest humbleness, and desired your highness most heartily to pray for her. King, what say'st thou, ha? To pray for her, what is she crying out? Lou, so said her woman, and that her sufferance made almost each pang a death. King, alas, good lady. Suff, God safely quit her of her burthen, and with gentle troil to the gladding of your highness with an air. King, 'tis midnight, Charles. Prithee to bed, and in thy prayers remember th. estate of my poor queen, lo me alone. For I must think of that which company would not be friendly to.
Suff, I wish your highness
a quiet night, and my good mistress will remember in my prayers. King Charles, good night.
Exit Suffolk.
Well, sir, what follows? Enter Sir Anthony Denny. Den, sir, I ha brought my lord the Archbishop, as you commanded me. King's ha Canterbury. Den, I my good lord. King, 'tis true, where is he Denny? Den, he attends your highness' pleasure. King, bring him to V's. Lou, this is about that which the bishop spake. I am's happily come hither. Enter Cranmer and Denny. King, awed the gallery.
Lowell seems to stay.
I ha said be gone.
What?
Exeunt Lowell and Denny.
Cran, I am fearful, wherefore frowns he thus? 'Tis his aspect of terror, all's not well. Kings, how now, my lord? You do desire to know wherefore. I sent for you. Cran, it is my duty. Attend your highness' pleasure. King, pray you arise. My good and gracious Lord of Canterbury. Come, you and I must walk a turn together. I ha news to tell you. Come, come, gi'e me your hand. Ah, my good lord, I gree you at what I speak. And am right sorry to repeat what follows. I ha, and most vien willingly of late. Heard many grievous, I do say, my lord. Grievous complaints of you, which being considered. Ha mood v's, and our counsel that you shall. This morning come before v's, where I know. You cannot with such freedom purge yourself. But that till further trial in those charges, which will require your answer, you must take. Your patience to you, and be well contented. To make your house our tower, you a brother of these. It fits we thus proceed, or else no witness would come against you. Cran, I humbly thank your highness, and am right glad to catch this good occasion. Most throughly to be winnowed where my chaff and corn shall fly asunder, for I know there's none stands ender more calumnious tongues than I myself, poor man. King, stand VP, good Canterbury. Thy truth and thy integrity is rooted in versus thy friend, gi'e me thy hand, stand VP. Prissy, let's walk, now by my holidame. What manner of man are you, my lord? I looked. You would ha gi'e and me your petition, that I should ha ta'en some pains to bring together yourself and your accusers, and to ha heard you without endurance further. Cran, most dread liege. The good I stand on is my truth and honesty. If they shall fail, I with mine enemies will triumph re my person, which I wag not. Being of those virtues vacant, I fear nothing. What can be said against me? King, know you not how your state stands world with the whole world? Your enemies are many and not small, their practices must bear the same proportion, and not ewer. The justice and the truth oath question carries the due oath verdict with it at what ease.